I didn't feel guilty for cheating on my husband. It was the best sex I had in years.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, just soak it up, Buttercup.
That's not a picture?
No, it's a photo by Georgia Maciel from Pexels. A lot of these chicks will take pictures of themselves or have boyfriends take pictures of them, and then they'll post them on royalty-free photography stock websites like Pexels, Pixabay, Unsplash, things like that, and then call themselves models. That's how it works.
That's fine.
Was I really going to do it? Was I really going to sleep with Joe? If I did, it meant one thing. I was a cheater. Too late for that. I guarantee you, it wasn't your first time.
Well, I mean, listen, emotional cheating is sometimes even worse.
Yeah. Depending on the situation, I think you're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
My husband was at home. My children were at school. I was standing on the doorstep of the apartment of some guy I'd met at OkCupid. I'd never cheated on a lover in my entire life. 1, 2, 3. Bullshit! You don't randomly become a cheater in your 30s.
No.
Kiss my ass. No. You've done this before. That's why it was easy for you to do it this time.
Well, I mean, OkCupid, Plenty of Fish,
Tinder.
I mean, it's so easy to dial up a cock.
Yeah.
And all a woman has to say is yes.
They don't even. Why do they even bother calling it Tinder or giving it any of these other names? Download Dial-A-Dick today.
But that is the new, like when in the 80s and 90s, there's like phone sex.
Yeah.
You had to get on the phone.
Dial-A-Dick or a
now,
Rolodex. She has a Rolodex of cack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Dial-A-Dick. I mean, come on.
Dial-A-Dick and Rolodicks. It's all good, man. Yeah. Cheating was not in my nature.
Shut up.
Sure. I'd get with a guy and only want to be with him. The plethora of other articles that you've written proves you wrong.
Yes. You are full of shit.
Typical modern woman. She loves to talk, and because she loves to talk, sooner or later, she tells on herself.
Yes. Yes, they do.
After all,
let them go.
If you watch the episode that we did on this, she refers to her husband constantly as a man-child. And says that childish men are on the rise everywhere. And of course, it's all our fault. It can't possibly be the fact that over half of the men in the Western world now are being raised by single mothers who have no clue how to raise men, but insist on trying to do it anyway, strong and independent, as long as they get, alimony, welfare, child support checks, all that other shit.
But
you're totally doing it alone.
Listen, who cares if these guys want to be childish? Just don't ever get married.
Yeah.
Live your life. Have a great fucking time. Find your purpose. You don't have to get married. And whatever they say, they can go to hell.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times women are like, well, real men would do this. Real men would do that. Listen, you're not a man. You don't know what it takes to be a real man. So maybe you should invest in a little bit of shut the fuck up.
A little bit. And now what really cracks me up is that if you read these next couple of paragraphs here, okay, this woman is determined to turn her audience against her ex-husband and make it so that anything she does to him is perfectly justified. And the reason why I know everything she says here is complete bullshit is because of all the articles of hers that I've read, this is the only time she mentions this particular thing.
Well, and the reason they do that is they use the justification to nullify the guilt.
Yeah.
I've literally lived through this when I was going through my divorce.
Oh, yeah, I've lived through it as well.
Like, I was the greatest thing since sliced bread up until I got injured, and then I was a narcissistic, abusive. I mean, it was insane.
It's all horseshit. It's all designed to rally people against you so that they don't have to feel guilty for being a betraying harlot.
Correct.
That's really all it is. I didn't come to my decision to cheat easily. It took me a long time to decide. Bullshit! I kept telling myself I still loved my husband and that there was nobody else in the world I could ever love as much as him. Yeah, none of this ever happened.
No.
I finally turned the corner after a terrible meeting with my marriage therapist where I was told just to accept my husband's deteriorating psychological state.
Here we go.
This is everything after this that she just speaks about her husband is completely made up.
Well, first of all, she's going to a marriage therapist. They're already on the rocks.
Yeah, they're already on the rocks, one. And two, marriage therapists, 99% of the time, are chicks, and they will side with the woman.
Correct.
So no marriage therapist told her this.
No.
I guarantee you. And this following thing never happened.
Well, first of all, marriage therapist is just a scam. You're literally paying somebody hundreds of dollars just so you could fail.
Yeah.
Like, get the hell out of here.
Fuck off.
Save the money. Go buy some booze and drink and tie one on.
Yeah, exactly. Are you ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
He'd become a deranged conspiracy theorist, and we could hardly have a conversation without arguing. We had a big fallout when he told me that aliens lived underground in New Mexico, absorbing human blood for food through their skin. I told him I wanted a divorce even though I couldn't leave him. We had 2 children together. We were broke. Yeah, this was never mentioned in any of the other articles where she just crucifies her ex-husband. I guarantee you, she just pulled this right out of her ass.
Who cares if he believes in aliens? I mean, there's all kinds of unexplained shit out there.
Yeah.
It could be correct. I don't know.
And what's really, really funny is this. I rewatched the other video today because I wanted to make sure that I was remembering everything that I could about this chick. Her ex-husband was not a deadbeat by any stretch of the imagination. The dude was a real estate magnate, and he came from money.
Okay.
The dude came from money and made good money. The only thing that killed him financially was the housing bubble, which was probably voted for by none other than his Quantaha wife.
She's obviously a liberal.
Yeah, she voted.
Hive-mind
I
bitch.
guarantee you she voted for Democrats. It was the Clintons who initiated all of the bullshit that led to all this popping in 2008.
Well, it's the non-conforming, and basically what they're doing is they were going outside of the old, English model for mortgages, which was developed and started in the late 1700s and up into the 1800s.
Yeah.
And that was unfair and racist because people didn't have good credit scores because they're not good with money and they're dicks. And so, by all means, it makes sense to, loan them fucking money. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Not to mention the non-conforming interest rates were crazy high.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt guilty doing them. I did like 2. Most of mine were VA or FHA, 30-year fixed. I did 2 non-conforming loans with a 9.5% interest rate. The other one was 10.1. And I felt like an absolute asshole doing it. And one of them I was able to refinance into a VA loan after 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
So,
man. Yeah, there are very few expressions that have come out of the leftoid lexicon in the last 20 years that are dumber and make less logical sense than predatory lending.
Yeah.
That's really stupid. Clean coal is another really stupid one.
Clean coal. Predatory lending. All right.
Trans kids. There's a third one for you. All things that don't exist, but we're gonna talk about them anyway.
We're gonna pretend that they do.
Yeah, there's no such thing as that. Just abusive parents. Get
So
that
good.
to your head now. I'd stretch my muscles with a good-looking guy, then go home to my husband. Yeah, right. One night, in a fit of desperation, I put a profile on Ashley Madison only to get bombarded with emails from perverts.
Or bots.
This is no different than OnlyFans models
Yeah.
posting photos of their butthole online and then getting indignant and going to the media with complaints about perverts demanding horrible things from me. Like, what demographic exactly is it you think you are catering to?
Well, they literally dress in raw meat and then walk into the den of wolves.
Yeah.
And shame them for wanting to, take a bite out of her.
Yeah.
I mean, take some goddamn personal responsibility,
No
women.
shit.
Listen, you dress like a hoe, people are going to monkey neck you.
Exactly.
That's just that's just because you're wearing the uniform.
You go onto a website with deranged, depraved, degenerate cheaters.
Yeah.
Guess what you are? And guess what you're going to get treated like?
That's right. Listen,
And by.
Ashley Madison is a cheater farm site.
You know what? I hope that her information was in the data dump that came out about, 7-8 years ago? That shit was, I know you got your hands on the database. We can check that out.
Funny.
If you still have that, we can check it out.
I don't know if I still have it.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
Just saying.
It was a huge data dump. It was like 1.8 gigs of like just personal information. It was huge.
I was trying hard to stay married, but I was miserable. A friend of mine would later say I was like an animal caught in a trap, chewing off my limb to save my life. Maybe that's why I finally decided to put a profile in OkCupid. I know that in doing so it would ruin my marriage. I was just trying to survive. My marriage was already over.
There you go. Now, when I was going through my divorce, I did a lot of research. And typically, if you are unhappy and shit's not working out and you gut it out, usually within 5 years, things improve.
Yep.
All right, but like modern women, as soon as it goes south, I'm out. I'm hitting the silk. I'll find something better. Those days are done, and I am going to educate as many men out there as I possibly can. So when that does happen, you get left in basically the trash pile of history.
Yep.
And it's all your fault.
We have these women who do shit like this, like Yael Silver, have no one to blame but themselves. I love how she says here on OkCupid, you can select married as your relationship status. Mm-hmm. When Joe reached out, he wasn't in the dark about my husband. He was handsome, poly, petri dish of disease, and 10 years younger than me. He lived close by. And this is just how this begins.
That's how you get shot.
Yeah.
That's how you get shot, man. If you knew that she was married and you're going to service her, I'm not saying you deserve what happens, but I certainly understand it.
It's how you catch a charge and a bullet. I'm just saying.
Or you get a fucking cruel beatdown.
Yeah, could be. What's hilarious, though, is that there's another article that we may or may not get to in this whole expose of this mentally decrepit female in the next month. But she talks about Joe in this article, the guy that she cheated on her husband with. Mm-hmm. Then in another article, she talks about being separated from her husband, but they're still living together. It's like that movie, The War of the Roses. And she's got another boyfriend with a different name. So wait, you're telling me that the guy who gave you the best sex that you've had in years, because you're not ordinarily like this, right?
Yeah,
you wouldn't live under the roof with another man while, boning and getting tonsil fucked by another dude, right?
I've never done this before.
But yet, before she was even divorced, we know of at least 2 dudes.
Yep.
And she couldn't keep this guy around. You mean to tell me that the dude, the polyamorous Joe, who does yoga and whatnot, you mean you couldn't keep him around?
Well,
he's not an honorable guy? The guy who will bang married women?
Oh, no.
Shocker.
Basically, she's just a dartboard now.
Oh, yeah. And I guarantee
in the bar. That's it.
There's got to be another article somewhere where she tries to rip apart Joe just like she does with her ex-husband. Guarantee it.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.